A very good evening and welcome. This is News First Weekend Primetime News here on MTV Sports. I'm Ramesh Irukal Bandara. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. President Rajapaksa, speaking to the Hindu newspaper, says that the north of the country would have powers which are not less, not more, than those enjoyed by the 8 provinces of the country. The US State Department says that the resolution of Sri Lanka that will be presented at the UNHRC will be based on the previous resolution. India increases its aid to Sri Lanka. And unidentified disease affects paddy cultivation in Dambulla. On to the stories in detail now. President Mahinda Rajapaksa has emphasized that the north of the country would have powers which are not less, not more than those enjoyed by the other 8 provinces in the country. In a special interview with The Hindu, the President Rajapaksa said that he would hold the northern provincial elections in September.
On the issue of a political solution for the Tamil people, President Mahinda Rajapaksa has said that unless the Tamil National Alliance joins with the Parliamentary Select Committee, there would be no way forward. The President had mentioned to the Hindu newspaper that without the Tamil National Alliance in the Parliamentary Select Committee, he would not be able to do anything. Speaking further on the matter, President Rajapaksa had said that earlier, all the leaders had given their solutions from the top and those solutions had failed, and that the 13th Amendment too had failed. Speaking to the Hindu on the coming US-sponsored resolution at the United Nations Human Rights Council, President Mahinda Rajapaksa had said that Jaffna was provided with all infrastructure facilities just 3 years after the war ended. The President said that anybody who had come and seen it has talked about it positively. The President had also questioned as to who else can do such a thing within a short span of time. President Mahinda Rajapaksa had said that he had not discussed with India on its support to Sri Lanka at the UNHRC. The President had said that India must know its duty as a neighbour and as a friend of Sri Lanka, and that he cannot dictate to India. The President, speaking further, had said that even India was harassed by the UNHRC on Kashmir. President Mahinda Rajapaksa had added that Sri Lanka is like a volleyball and that everyone is taking turns in punching it to cover up their sins. President Mahinda Rajapaksa also denied any allegations that the Sri Lanka army killed 12-year-old Balachandran Prabhakaran, the son of the late LTTE leader.
Well, it has been reported that India has increased its aid to Sri Lanka. Indian media reported that India has increased the annual grant to Sri Lanka in the union budget.
According to the Times of India, the allocation from the union budget has gone up to 5,000 million Indian rupees for 2013-2014 from 2,900 million Indian rupees from last year. India in its budget had allocated 55,000 million Indian rupees as aid for foreign governments and organizations. The Times of India reports that the grants for Sri Lanka are meant for rehabilitation of internally displaced Tamils, but parties in Tamil Nadu have accused the government of diverting Indian aid for other purposes. The aid increase comes as the anti-Sri Lankan mood in Tamil Nadu is getting more belligerent.
Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga says that leaders can go mad very easily once they yield power. She made this statement during a function held in Kandy yesterday.
The 10th annual academic sessions of the Sri Lanka College of Psychiatrists commenced in Kandy yesterday. WHO representative in Sri Lanka Dr. Rasam Mehta was the guest of honour at the occasion, while former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga was the chief guest.
Bad leaders, I would say, because obviously of their mental problems and emotional problems, seem to seriously lack confidence. This causes very serious problems for the people he leads and for the country he leads, especially if the leader happens to be a political one. They do not have the confidence to go beyond petty matters. They do not have the confidence not to feel threatened by opposition. If they do not have the confidence to accept criticism and take it with equanimity, it can become very serious. Then you begin to destroy those who criticize you because you fear them, because the lack of confidence gives you fear. You destroy the democratic practices and institutions in the country. because of such fears. All these, I think, are mental and emotional problems. A good leader needs to have management skills. He doesn't need to manage, but he needs to understand what management is all about and surround himself with skilled people who can do the job for him. For this, once again, you need confidence, because I know a lot of leaders, or some leaders, who fear anybody who is more talented than himself. So then he tends to surround himself with cronies, totally unskilled, stupid relatives, because they give him the confidence that he's great. Some leaders, they say, begin to concentrate power in their hands after some time in power for diverse reasons which can be analyzed. They then begin to believe in their omnipotence, that they are all powerful and that their authority will be eternal. Very dangerous. One look at those who are supposed to govern us today, I think will convince us, or is enough proof to show that leaders can go mad very easily once they wield power.
On your developing story tonight, a video produced by Britain's Channel 4 on Sri Lanka was screened yesterday at the United Nations Human Rights Council premises in Geneva. Sri Lanka's permanent representative to the United Nations in Geneva, Ravinath Ariasinghe, said that subsequent to the screening, he had expressed Sri Lanka's stance in this regard to the individuals who attended the screening.
Over 200 delegates representing various countries watched the video that was screened at room number 25 at the UNHRC premises in Geneva last evening.
Well, there were two objectives in our protest to the President of the Human Rights Council about this film. The first was, we wanted to point out the inappropriateness of the use of the UN premises for the screening of this film. The second point we wanted to make was that to refute this idea which the organizers of this film were trying to portray, including in important papers like the International Herald Tribune, where it was said that this will be screened in the Human Rights Council. Now that is a very serious thing, because the Human Rights Council is the big body, and we wanted to draw the distinction that there was no screening in the Human Rights Council. This was a side event which took place.
Special sessions of the UNHRC will not convene today and tomorrow. However, Sri Lanka will once again be the topic of discussion on the 15th and the 20th of this month. Sri Lanka's permanent representative to the UN office in Geneva, Ravinath Ariasinghe, said that if Sri Lanka will be taken up for discussion on any other day apart from the 15th and the 20th of this month, they will provide the required answers.
Meanwhile, at the daily press briefing of the U.S. State Department yesterday, its acting deputy spokesperson Patrick Wentworth said that the U.S.-sponsored resolution on Sri Lanka at the UN Human Rights Council will be built on the 2012 resolution.
The resolution that you are putting up at the UN, is it different from the last, how different is it from the last year's resolution that the U.S. has put in?
Well, we do intend to, as I mentioned yesterday, sponsor a resolution at the UN Human Rights Council current session. It will build on the 2012 resolution, which called on Sri Lanka to do more to promote reconciliation and accountability. The resolution will ask the government of Sri Lanka to follow through on its own commitments to its people, including implementing the constructive recommendations from the report by Sri Lanka's Lessons Learned and Reconciliation Commission. So that's really the content of the resolution, and we're sponsoring it.
Opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the responsibility of the United National Party is to be amongst the people. However, Southern Provincial Councillor and Attorney-at-Law Maitri Gunaratne says that the present leadership had acted in a manner that chased away 61 parliamentarians who had public voter bases.
පක්ෂයේ යුතුකමාද ජනතාව අතර ඉන්න. ජනතාව එක්ක ඉන්න. ඒක එක පියවර.
The responsibility of the United National Party is to be amongst the people and be with the people. One phase in it is to enroll new members. Once new members are enrolled, our organizers, Pradesh Sabha members, parliamentarians and everyone else will have to remain in their electorates. They should be with their people. If they cannot do that, I will have to put those with the capability of fulfilling this task in those areas. I need full-timers. I have no use with part-timers or those who carry out contracts.
මේ full time කරන අය මට ඕනේ, part time කරන අය, half time කරන අය, contract දෙන අය මට වැඩක් නැහැ.
පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රීවරු 61ක් UN එකෙන් ගියා. රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? මේකේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයේ වෙනුවෙන් කවුරු සටන් කරා නම් ඒ සටන් කරන පුද්ගලයා
61 parliamentarians left the United National Party. What is Ranil Wickremesinghe doing? If someone is fighting for democracy within the party, they will continuously attack him until he becomes fed up of the United National Party. There's a spineless opposition leader in this country. This spineless opposition leader is with the government. The manner in which we treat Ranil Wickremesinghe is too nice. The innocent UNP activists and the village level supporters have to suffer the most. We will never be able to form a government under this spineless leader Ranil Wickremesinghe. In the present context, the United National Party has 2.3 million members, but there is no way to step out onto the streets against this government. Today, that task is done by the JVP. Today, every struggle against the government is done by the JVP. As UNP activists, we are helpless.
එළියට බයින්න විදියක් නැහැ. අද ඒක කරන්නේ ජනතාව විමුක්ති පෙරමුණ. අද ආණ්ඩුවට විරුද්ධව කරන්න තියෙන හැම අරගලයක්ම කරන්නේ ජනතාව විමුක්ති පෙරමුණ. අපි එක්සත් ජාතික පාක්ෂික හැටියට අපි අසරණයි.
Staying in local news, the office of the United National Party in Wattegama was vandalized by an unidentified group last night.
The office of the United National Party in Wattegama, situated near the Meegammana junction belonging to the Pathadumbari electorate, was vandalized by an unknown group last night. Our reporter said that the group used a wooden pole to carry out the attack. The leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, was to pass by here at 3 p.m. tomorrow. I wanted to prepare the necessary arrangements and decorate the building tomorrow morning. But in the evening, a group of thugs vandalized the office and caused major damages to the building.